New documents from the Pentagon that have ended up in the hands of the New York Times shows that bombings carried out by the United States have killed thousands and thousands of more people than have actually been reported by the media. These specific numbers have been covered up by the Pentagon and have not been released to the public. The documents released by the New York Times are part of a hidden Pentagon archive of the American Air Force since 2014. The collection of documents detail 1,300 reports of civilian casualties from that time period. This means there have been thousands of more victims of U.S. bombings and drone strikes that have never made it into the media, which means the fatalities of civilians by U.S. military actions have been deliberately underreported by the Pentagon itself. In one particularly shocking event in 2016, American Special Operations claimed they had bombed 3 ISIS staging areas on the outskirts of Tokar, a riverside hamlet in northern Syria. They claimed they had killed 85 ISIS fighters. In fact, their own investigation found that they had killed 120 innocent villagers. Another example comes from 2017, where a vehicle was stopped believed to be a car bomb. This occurred at an intersection in Wadi Hajar neighborhood in West Mosul. In fact, it was a man, his wife, 3 children, and 3 other civilians that were killed. They were fleeing a nearby military engagement. What is probably most frustrating about this is the complete lack of accountability for those who have murdered innocent people. Of all these thousands of people who have been killed that went unreported, not one person was reprimanded for the murder of innocent people. There have been 12 payouts to family of survivors, but no one held accountable. Yet at the same time all of this was occurring under Obama, who had previously said this was the most precise air campaign in history. And what we have seen is nothing but the opposite. A 2019 bombing in Syria was conducted by a top-secret strike cell called Talon Anvil that, according to people who worked with it, frequently sidestepped procedures meant to protect civilians. Now, the Pentagon has responded to the allegations. Captain Bill Urban of U.S. Central Command did give a formal statement on the matter. Even with the best technology in the world, mistakes do happen, whether based on incomplete information or misrepresentation of the information available, and we try to learn from these mistakes. We work diligently to avoid such harm. We investigate each credible instance, and we regret each loss of innocent life. An honest mistake on a strike taken with the best available information and keeping with mission requirements that result in civilian casualties is not, in and of itself, a cause for disciplinary actions set forth in the law of armed conflict. In some cases, our assessment of the numbers of civilian casualties does not always match that of outside groups, and we acknowledge that those numbers may change over time as well. We do the best we can, given the circumstances, to understand fully the effects of our operations and the harm is done to innocent life. That we sometimes do not always arrive at the same conclusion of outside groups does not diminish the sincerity with which we strive to get it right. What's really interesting here is the apologetics that the mainstream media is engaging in. What they are framing this as an intelligence failure. They had the wrong information, so they ended up murdering thousands of innocent people. If this really is an intelligence failure, then this would be proof that the U.S. military is incompetent. Like, outright should not have guns, should not have bombs, weapons, etc., because they are too incompetent to use them properly. But think about that. That's the way the mainstream media is trying to portray this. It simply was a mistake. I don't believe that these were mistakes. I think that these were just attacks. Here's some people, there's like a 0.01% chance that they might be terrorists or things, so go ahead and kill them anyway. This is not unbelievable for something that empires do. For example, British occupation of India once killed about 100,000 people in one day to fight an uprising. The people of Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, they don't want the U.S. Army in their country at all. Period. And the U.S. just comes in and slaughters the people. This is about beating them into submission. This is about making them accept the fact that the U.S. Army is here. They will do whatever they want. They will not be held accountable for their crimes until entire countries, whole swaths of natural resources and markets are under the control of the U.S. capitalist class. And this shows that the people who engage in these strikes know they're wrong, know that they're killing innocent people. There's no way they don't know. And in the link provided to the New York Times, there is an astronomical amount of documentation on every single one of these incidences. And there's about 1,300 of them, and the reports that the U.S. military carried out on each of those incidents. They knew they were civilians, or there was no evidence of them being terrorists or insurgents, what have you. Because this has been about brutalizing those countries into submission, for them to accept that the U.S. Army is here and that is in control. And this is that terrible beast. These people who know that they're murdering innocent people, the terrible beast that imperialism turns men into, that Che Guevara spoke about. And it's high time that we stop thinking that these are just simply intelligence failures and that they are bad things. This is why those countries do not like America. They don't like Americanism. They do not like the U.S. Army. And there is plenty good reason not to like them because of what they do. So give this to your local patriotic socialist the next time they try to scream about the glory of the troops and why we should ally with them. And ask them if they would be willing to do so with the police, the ones who kill American people. But the ones who kill the proletariat of the globe are the ones that are their dearest and well-respected allies. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.